Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris with Blind Spectrum, and welcome to the Assistive Tech Review. Today we will be reviewing the Victor Reader Stream by Humanware. So, let's start with what we get out of the box here, okay? We get obviously, the device itself, the Victor Stream Classic, a micro USB plug-in to go on top, your standard protection belt case for the stream. It's got a little snap, and it's a simple case. Helps make sure it doesn't get wet, stuff like that. And an AC outlet adapter, as well as a USB plug to help plug it into your computer. So, that's it. So, let's get into the device itself now. So, here's what I'm gonna say, is the Victor Stream, both classic and new generation, has a lot to it. And I will say that this is the best device you could probably use for recording notes. So, the Victor Stream is a DAISY book player. So, let's get into what all of these buttons do. Now I will make a quick note. I'm not going to get into every single thing that this does. We're going to be doing that in our lessons videos, so stay followed to those. But to get a general idea of what the Victor Stream can do for you, that's what we're going to do here. So let's get into it. So first, let's start with your power, which is here on the top left side when it's facing you. So let's go ahead and turn this guy on. Okay, got that beep. And it tells you, welcome. So that's great. So now, let's start going through these functions. So, if you go and you look on the left side, you go below the power, you have your volume rockers. Here's the deal. These volume rockers work as other methods as well. So, we have our volume maxed. So here's what I will say is pressing the power button will allow you to switch between modes that gives you the ability to use these arrows, I should say.
Speed.
So you have your speed,
Tone.
you have your tone,
Volume.
and then you go back to volume. So it's really nifty for those visually impaired and blind people who prefer to speed things up with their books and stuff like that. Personally, I don't, but I appreciate the fact that many people in the blind community do, and that's fine. So let's keep moving. So on the right side of the device, we have up top 2 audio jack outputs. One is for recording, the other is for audio. So always try to remember that. And then below that, more close to the bottom, but pretty much the center of the side, is your record button. Now, I'm not going to press that, but if you have an SD card, then you're going to be able to do some recording for notes, college classes, lecture halls, anything you need it for. That's what you're going to be able to do. Okay, so now let's look at the front of this guy. We have up top 2 buttons. We have our go to button, which is squared, a perfect square, and that's going to allow you to go to your bookmarks, whatever parts that you decide to put into either books, music, recordings, whatever you need to insert a bookmark into. It's going to let you find that. So let's just give that a press.
Welcome to Victor Reader. Note 1. Go to note.
So you're going to be able to go to your note.
Go to time.
You can go to time,
Go to percent.
go to the percentage,
Go to note.
and then we're back to note. So as far as notes go, that's what you're going to be able to do. Now again, when you set a bookmark, you're going to be able to you will see that in your options. Now let's look at the button on the other side, which happens to be bookmark. It's shaped like a diamond, kind of. It's more like a square on its point, I'll say. So when you press this, you're going to be able to do a couple things. One,
Go to bookmark.
you'll be able to go to your bookmark,
Insert bookmark.
or you'll be able to insert your bookmark. So that's really nifty if you are feeling sleepy, if you just can't keep going, if this is a college textbook you're reading, something like that, you can easily insert your bookmark and leave off for the next day or for later.
Start highlight bookmark.
You have some other options as well that we're not going to get into, but they are there.
Bookmark list.
So now let's get into the Numberpad. So the Numpad on the Victor stream has many purposes. And again, I am not going to get into all the purposes of the stream, of what it can do. A lot of that, all of it, will be covered in our lessons videos. But until then, this is simply a review video. So let's get into the brief of what this can do. So when you're looking at a book, you're trying to find what you're trying to find, or you're trying to navigate around music, notes, so on. The Numberpad's what you'll be using. So let's get into this. So it's your standard keypad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, and then what can be considered to be the star and pound buttons. So it's a standard numeric pad, just like on your common cell phone. Here's the difference. When you're trying to do something, these two little guys, the what could be considered the star and pound sign, which is on the left and right respectively, are your cancel and accept buttons. So whenever you're trying to do something and it wants to make sure you know what you're doing, you press either accept or cancel. Okay? So let's move down, and we have the very nifty sleep button, which is all on its own. Sleep button's nice because if you're, listening to notes, listening to music, whatever, and you want to keep listening to it, but you're wanting to maybe drift off, catch some shut-eye, whatever, just press this button.
Sleep 15 minutes.
It'll start at 15 and it'll end at 60. So you have a few options there.
Sleep 30 minutes. Sleep 45 minutes. Sleep 60 minutes.
Alright, so we're at 60, that's the end.
Sleep off.
And then you press it again and it'll go off. Very simple to use. Again, Victor Stream's a very, very simple device. It's got so much to it, but it is very simple and easy to learn, I promise. So now let's go down here, our final buttons, which are rewind, pause, and fast forward. Now I don't really think I need to go into what those buttons do. It's very straightforward, very easy. Again, super nifty device, very small, and this thing is small, and the new gen system Victor Stream is even smaller. So, you know, imagine that. Now, let's get into price. So, pricing for the Victor Stream is very specific now, considering how Humanware no longer really sells the Victor Stream. You can find it on places like eBay or Amazon used. You can still find new versions, because I know a lot of people don't want used tech, used stuff. And if you contact your local Department of Human Services, if you have a case open with them, you can say, hey, I need a good note taker for classes, stuff like that. They'll probably give you one of these, most likely, because they know also it is very inexpensive considering most tech. It's very versatile, and it's very durable. Now, here's the deal with this guy. One last thing I'll say is it has a battery that you can take out and change if you need to. Its battery is very personalized, but still, there you have it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was the Victor Stream review by Humanware. My thoughts on it, obviously, I guess I kind of made it a little biased, sort of. I do love the Victor Stream. I think it's the best note taker you can have. Visually impaired or blind, it doesn't matter. It's a great little device. I love it. I used it in college and in high school. And there has been no time where its speaker has failed. Its connectivity, admittedly, is a little slow when trying to connect to your computer, but that's one of the only downsides to it, I'd say. Price is cheap, you know, so would I suggest it? Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that. This was the AT review, and this is the Victor Stream by Humanware.